There's a certain type of woman who always seems effortless. She walks into a room and people notice, but they can't quite put their finger on why. She doesn't post about her 5 a.m. routine. She doesn't announce her discipline. She doesn't try to convince anyone of anything. And yet, she's glowing. She's put together. She moves through life like she belongs there. People ask her, "How are you so disciplined?" And she just smiles. Because what she knows, what we're going to talk about today, is that effortlessness is not an accident. It's a practice. It's built from small, quiet habits that nobody sees, and those invisible habits, they change everything. If you've ever felt like some women were just born with it, the glow, the calm, the way they seem to have their life together without trying, this video is for you. Because today I'm going to share the quiet habits that make you look effortless. Not the performative ones, not the ones designed for a camera, but the real ones. The ones that happen when nobody's watching. These are the habits that build what I call invisible architecture, the structure underneath the surface that makes everything else feel natural. So let's begin. Everyone talks about the aesthetic morning routine, the iced coffee perfectly arranged, the journal spread open with beautiful handwriting, the skincare lineup on a marble counter. But the morning habits that actually make a difference, they're boring, they're invisible, and they happen before the world wakes up. The woman who looks effortless doesn't wake up and perform. She wakes up and prepares. She lays out tomorrow's outfit tonight, not because it looks nice, but because it removes one decision from her morning brain. She spends 10 minutes in silence before touching her phone, not to be spiritual, but because those 10 minutes are the difference between reacting to the world and choosing how to enter it. She makes the bed, every day, not because it impresses anyone, but because it's the first promise she keeps to herself that day. And keeping that promise sets a tone. There's something deeply magnetic about a woman whose morning is not a scramble. A woman who enters the world slowly, on her own terms, before the world can rush her. That's not luck. That's design. We live in a world that rewards announcement. Post your goals, share your progress, let people see the work. And yes, there's value in that, but there's also power in the opposite. The most disciplined women I know are strategic about what stays private. They don't announce their routines, they live them. They don't post about their boundaries, they enforce them. They don't tell you they're changing their life, they just do it quietly. And then one day you notice something is different about them. This is what I call strategic invisibility. It's the understanding that energy spent performing is energy stolen from becoming. When you're always showing the world your process, you never get fully lost in it. And it's in those lost moments, the ones without an audience, where real transformation happens. The effortless woman knows this. She doesn't need witnesses for her discipline. She's her own witness. There's a myth that some people just have good taste, that it's something you're born with, like having naturally straight hair or long legs. But taste is not inherited. It's trained. The woman who always looks put together, she didn't wake up like that. She spent hours, months, years learning to notice things. She pays attention to how light falls in a room, to which fabrics feel good on her skin, to why certain color combinations make her feel calm and others make her feel restless. She curates not because she's wealthy, but because she cares. Taste is simply the habit of paying attention. It's choosing the slower option, the quieter option, the one that feels true instead of the one that looks impressive. And when you train this habit long enough, it starts showing up everywhere in how you dress, how you speak, how you design your life. People call it elegance. But really, it's just attention, practiced consistently. Here's something nobody tells you. Softness is not weakness. Softness is a system. The effortless woman is gentle, but not by accident. She has built gentleness into her routine the way other people build productivity. Skincare is not a chore, it's a ritual. A moment where she says, "I am worth tending to." Movement is not punishment for what she ate, it's celebration of what her body can do. A walk, a stretch, a dance in the kitchen. Nothing needs to be intense to be meaningful. Rest is not laziness, it's strategy. She doesn't wait until she breaks down to stop. She builds rest into the week, not as a reward for collapse, but as a requirement for sustainability. These are soft habits, but soft doesn't mean fragile. Think of water soft, flowing, gentle, and yet over time it shapes stone. That's the power of softness done consistently. It compounds, it transforms, it makes you magnetic without you trying. And now we arrive at the real secret, the one underneath all the others. The reason some women look effortless, truly, deeply effortless, is not their routine. It's not their taste. It's not even their discipline. It's that they stopped negotiating with themselves. They decided, this is what I do. "This is who I am," and they meant it. Self-trust is the most attractive quality a woman can cultivate. When you trust yourself, your choices, your boundaries, your timing, something happens in your posture, in your voice, in your eyes. You stop second-guessing. You stop looking for approval. You start carrying yourself like someone who knows her own name. That's magnetism, not a dress, not a routine, not an aesthetic. It's the quiet certainty of a woman who chose herself and then became exactly what she chose. So if you've been trying to look effortless, stop trying. Start building the quiet habits instead, the invisible ones, the ones that don't get posted but change everything. Because the woman you want to become, she's not a performance, she's a practice. And she's already in you, waiting for you to choose her. Thank you for watching. If you're ready to become the woman you've been practicing, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.